Welcome to Being Friends with Jess and Toni-ann, an inside look at our friendship, millennial things, sports, and pop culture. Come laugh with us, or maybe at us, and let's be friends.
Hello.
Hey, friends.
Welcome back. We see Jess upgraded her tech this week.
I did. I have a microphone. And I'm finally putting the headphones I got for Christmas to use. So
yeah, I'm going to get on it.
I feel a little weird. Like, I feel out of balance. My head feels very large, but
well, those headphones are very wide.
Yeah, I don't know how to. They like I don't know. They move. They can contort. It's interesting. I don't know. Anyway,
we're eventually going to be professional enough that when we both have headsets and the microphones, we'll also have like a table where like the microphone sits on, like everybody like on the professional podcasts have, and it'll like look legit.
I can bring mine in, but it'll cover half my face. Anyway, I just realized your shirt.
Yes, throwback. Homecoming.
I don't know where that
Which
is.
year was this?
No, isn't that the Barstool one?
That's
the Barstool shirt.
Campus tees. It was
but that wasn't a homecoming shirt. That was literally Barstool made that shirt.
Yeah, but we wore them at homecoming.
Oh yeah, we wore them at homecoming.
Yeah, these are the unauthorized homecoming shirts.
Right.
So
the other shirts we had that were like
FDU.
Yeah,
love it.
That was a good one.
I know. I just found it. So I also had to do a quick outfit change right before we started recording, which I'll discuss momentarily.
100% spills your drink all over yourself.
So Jess, what do you have in your china today?
The funny thing is that I have an espresso martini, and I didn't measure it, so I didn't even fill my martini.
Oh, okay, but you got the whipped cream in it, so
it's fine. Yes, so I just did that for a little bit
whiskey?
No, I did it with the espresso vodka and espresso and Kahlua, but the other day I made one, and I didn't like let the espresso cool before, so then I put the ice in the shaker and I went to shake it and the whole thing exploded all over me. Mm-hmm. That was a double that I made because we were going out to the fire pit and I don't want to come back in and make another one. So then I saved the espresso for, because I have like the little like stovetop espresso maker, like a 70-year-old Italian grandma.
Those are the best ones though.
It's so great, but again, like I made the whole thing and I was not drinking 4 shots of espresso on Saturday.
That's fine. Leave it in your fridge. Even if you don't make martinis out of it, you could have made yourself like a latte the next day or something. Like,
oh yeah, I could. So I just put a little bit of the whipped cream in there to like sweeten it up, because the espresso plus the espresso vodka is a little bitter.
Yeah, you have a little bit of whipped cream on your lip. You got it. You got it. I didn't want you to have it on there for the whole podcast. So
what a good friend. What a good friend. Yeah.
Anyway, I also have a martini. I actually made a Cosmo.
Oh.
Which it's
wait, where did you get those martini glasses?
These were 2 that like I got 2 of them from my mom. Like back when we were having my bowl situation. She had 2 in her like china closet that she never used. So she was like, why don't you just take these? And then the very next week, that's when Kate Mary gifted me with like the fancy ones I used.
Those are cute.
Yeah. So this was just extra ones now. So now I have 4 martini glasses, 2 of each. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, this is a Cosmo. And the reason why I had to do a quick outfit change was because, of course, me going to shake it, my thumb moved off the little like thingamajig that's on top of the shaker for 1 second. Right at me. So also the tips of my hair, right after we get off this podcast, I will have to go wash my hair because down here is all caked up with like sweet sticky stuff. So I feel gross right now. The shirt that I was wearing, I didn't have time to like thoroughly wash, so it's just like sitting in my bathroom. So we're really doing great. I tried to just clean up as much as I could in my kitchen so that like it wouldn't be like sugary stuff all over my kitchen. But we're off to a great start, but it tastes good anyway. I guess that's what matters at the end of the day.
That is what matters, is that it tastes good.
And I can't tell the color, but it's a good pink.
I just want to say how terrible my hair looks for anybody watching this. Because last week when I was editing last week, my hair looked so terrible and you did not tell me the whole time last week. So if it ever looks that awful again, please let me know. But right now,
what's awful about
we can't really... It was like in 12 different directions. It literally...
Whoops. My hair always
And
looks the same.
at
Just
that
some
point,
days are greasier
Thursday
than
night
others.
was too late to record a new one. So anyway.
My bad. I thought
It's
I
all
would
right.
have told you if I thought it looked really bad. I guess I didn't think it did.
Okay.
I would have told you. Same way I just told you you had whipped cream on your lip.
Well, my ridiculous thing, I'll go first.
Okay.
It's not really like super ridiculous, but it's just something that I do like mindlessly. And it's because I don't like pay attention to anything I'm doing it at all. So the other day, Friday, I went to make baby and I sweet potatoes. And I didn't like fully cook them the night before. Like one of the potatoes cooked, the other one didn't. Don't ask me why. One was bigger than the other. Anyway, so I went to cook the other one for us to eat for lunch. And I put it in the air fryer. Then I took the potatoes out and I was like, oh, I have these green bean fries. I'm gonna finish this bag because it was Friday. I was looking for like everything without meat in it in my house. Okay, so now I go to put the green bean fries on the air fryer basket, but the air fryer basket's hollow, so like all the crumbs were coming out the other side. So I'm like, shit, I'm making a mess. Let me move this. Forget that I just took the air fryer basket out of the air fryer. It is metal. I pick it up and I go to move it. Entire hand burned.
That's something I would do, Jess. I expect better from you.
So I really felt like I had to tell this story so that it's not like Toni-ann's the only one that accidentally inflicts pain on herself all the time. But like,
mostly me, but
I do this a lot where I just like touch hot things, forgetting that I 30 seconds ago took it out of the oven or whatever. So that's my ridiculous thing. It hurt all weekend, and finally, like I could feel my thumb again. I had like a line across my hand. You can't see it because my ring light, but like my thumb was like burnt, but it didn't scab or anything. So I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It just throbbed.
No, yeah, I would even through the video be able to see it if it was bad. So it looks like you.
No, it just
got
was like
lucky.
really hurting for.
Oh, I'm sure. Burns are the worst.
Yeah.
And sweet potatoes, as we know, I have a bad track record with. So that was a little triggering for me.
Honestly, forgot about that.
Sweet potato
For
is
those
what
who
caused
don't
me
know, Toni-ann literally cannot cut anything. This girl cutting a bagel literally could give you an anxiety attack for even the most mellow of people. Like, she shouldn't be trusted with knives. If you are with her and she has a knife, walk away. Walk away.
I am almost a 32-year-old woman, and I still, if I cut a bagel or do something, Jess will literally like not even
Take it
care
away
who's
from
around
you.
me and just take it away from me and just like cut my food for me because she's like so scared I'm gonna kill myself, which honestly she's not wrong. So I've proven enough times that she's warranted in her nervousness
I've
about it.
never seen somebody cut a bagel like you in my entire life. I wish that I could demonstrate it, but I can't even, like, my brain won't even allow me to think the way you think when you
to me, it's just how you should do it. I know that it's not, but you know, you just take it and you like go around.
No, you're supposed to use the blade, not the tip. Like,
I know there's no way to demonstrate it unless I was actually going to do it, and I don't trust myself to do it on camera because God only knows what could happen. But the sweet potato reference for people that don't know, did I tell the story on the podcast?
I don't think so.
Is when COVID just started, we were in lockdown. Toni-ann thought she was going to be a great home cook, take an initiative when we were all secluded and sequestered to make great food. So I was going to make homemade sweet potato fries in my brand new air fryer at the time. And I wasn't told that you really should like soften and cook the potato a little bit before you cut into it. So I just took the potato with a very sharp Cutco knife, which is like a very good sharp knife. And I also pretend my phone is the potato. Like most people would cut it this way. I decided to go this way
because wait, you had it standing up?
Yeah,
not like
I had it standing up because I thought like, oh, longer fries. And not thinking about the fact that I could have just still laid it that way and went the other way. So there's a reason why I was holding the potato like this. It was a rock hard potato, and I'm cutting and I'm cutting, and exactly how it is now, like this is the finger. I went to cut, and because it was not a soft potato, like the knife like slanted out, and there goes that finger. And it was a crime scene. So Ever since then, none of my friends have trusted me in the kitchen.
So
with a
now
knife.
she has to go to the ER in the middle of COVID when,
Mhm.
like, it's not good. We don't know what's happening. People are
No.
dying, and here's Toni-ann in the ER with her chopped finger.
Called my mother on FaceTime. Meanwhile, granted, you remember, like, I live 45 minutes from my parents, and we're not supposed to be like seeing each other in person. We're supposed to be slowing the spread, or whatever the heck the slogan was. So I'm like calling her, and she picks up, and she's like, "Hi, honey," like all happy to like FaceTime me, and it's just me going, and like there's blood everywhere, and she picks up, she's like, "Oh, like what's happening?" Like she was so thrown off that's how I greeted her. And then her and my dad were on FaceTime with me as I was trying to get the bleeding to stop. The bleeding was not stopping. I was telling them I was going to pass out. And so they actually did drive like the 35 minutes to me to take me to the ER, all for them to give me a tetanus shot and gauze and be like, that's really the best we could do for you. It didn't even need stitches because the way it was cut. Anyway, long story short, $1,000 later from the emergency room. Nobody trusts me with knives anymore. Yeah.
Do you have something ridiculous to top that ridiculousness?
Well, yeah, my ridiculous thing was just going to be like my usual rants about things that happened to me throughout the week. That was just a segue, obviously. So this weekend was St. Patrick's Day. Woo, we all love St. Patrick's Day. I went out to the city, okay? Now, the first ridiculous thing, I had a couple of ridiculous things happen to me Saturday, but the most ridiculous thing was what happened first, okay? So we were going down to Stone Street, which if anybody saw TikTok this week or the videos on Instagram or wherever, it was a disaster. I'll get into that later. It was just a mob scene, but we did plan on going down there. So I took me and Kelly came over. Me and Kelly took the bus to the city, and then we all met from where our buses were, and then we were getting on the subway to go downtown. Nice, easy peasy. The bus is great, perfectly on time. We get on the subway, we're moving and grooving. Now we get like to 2 stops away to Stone Street, and the subway stops. We're sitting in the station. I don't even remember where it was, like Park Place, like somewhere downtown, for like 20 minutes. And the doors were open for a little bit, but the woman on the, the MTA lady, who you never understand what she's saying, she's always murmuring. I feel like the job description says must not be able to be understood, and that's how they get the jobs. Like all those memes are true. So we couldn't tell if she was saying, get off the train or stand clear of the doors because we're moving. So we thought that she said stand clear of the doors. So I was like, oh, great. So we sit there for 20 to 25 minutes. They were doing some kind of investigation, like 2 cars up from us. We saw some cleaning people. We're thinking like something gross like happened, like 2 cars up, and they need like a cleaning crew in there. Don't ask questions. You're a New Yorker. You don't ask. You don't look. You just hope it passes quickly, right?
Were you on the train that somebody got shot on?
Somebody got shot on Saturday.
I don't know what day it was, but somebody did get shot on the train, yes.
If it was Saturday at the Park Place on the 2-3 train at around 11:30 to 12 noon, then that was my train.
Okay, got it.
There would have been a lot more cops if it was a shooting incident. There were really no cops. It was just like a cleaning crew and like MTA people. So I don't think so.
A homeless guy probably just peed himself.
Yeah, or somebody threw up or whatever. So anyway, finally, it seemed like the doors open, and it seemed like we were not going anywhere anytime soon. So of course, what do? We get off the train to try to find another train. And the minute we get off, the doors close and the train goes away. So this is just a ridiculous thing that, like, why does this always happen to me? Why? Like, that's the same as like when you're waiting in a line somewhere, the minute you go to another line, that line starts moving. But like, no joke, 25 minutes, me, Kelly, Elena, and Mary, we were sitting on this subway going, should we get off? Should we stay on? Nah, let's just stay on. How much longer could it be? This, that. Finally, we're like, screw it, we're getting off. Doors closed, gone. I'm like, so we go upstairs trying to find another train. The other train's like, we're not on the right platform. So now we have to go to another platform. And then eventually, I was overruled that we're just getting in an Uber to get the rest of the way, which, I don't really love Ubers, but I'm like, okay, like at this point we've really struggled
not
here.
in the city. Like, who wants to get in a taxi or an Uber in the city? It's annoying.
Especially on a day, like the parade was happening. Like, I mean,
Right.
we weren't near the parade. We were downtown, but still, like, it was.
Wait, so did you go to the parade or not?
No, we didn't go to the parade. We had no plans to go to the parade.
Oh, I thought you were going to the parade.
No, we were going for parade day.
You literally told me that you were going to the parade on Wednesday when we were together. You said, yeah, we're going to the parade on Saturday.
I meant like we're going to the city for like the day of the parade. I guess I didn't clarify.
That is not the same thing. Just to clarify.
I apologize. We did not attend the parade, nor did we have any
I'm telling my family that you were at the parade.
Weren't even close to it.
Yeah, well, that makes sense as to why I told my uncle. I was like, oh, yeah, Tony was on Stone Street. And he was like, isn't that downtown? I was like, yeah, but they were at the parade. No, you weren't.
Nope.
Now I look like an idiot.
No, my bad. Yeah, Stone Street was, I mean, like, we ended up having ourselves a good time because we make a good time anywhere we go, but it was nightmare inducing how crowded it was. There was absolutely no crowd control. It was the worst, like, stampede prone situation I've ever seen in my life. And I will never be returning there for St. Patrick's Day. But after we had our fun there, we moved uptown, and then, we had our usual shenanigans. So it was great.
Yeah, I saw that you were at the keg room, which is where we went a couple years ago, right?
And I'll go there every year because it's just always a great time.
It was so much fun. So a flashback to 6 years ago, I want to say it was. No, 7 years ago. 7.
Oh, right, because we were
disgusting. 7 years ago. We went to the keg room. This is when Toni-ann was like working in Midtown. It was a Friday. So
my office was right above keg room.
Right. So we all go out in the city, and this is when I first started dating Alex. So like him and his friend from home, who is actually our best man, they meet us. We all go out. We put tattoos on our face with beer. To this day, I'm not sure how we all didn't like wind up with like cystic acne for a month from
I don't remember.
I don't think I did. I think I was shocked that I did not. Like, we had tattoos on our face. We were putting tattoos on other people with beer. Yeah. I don't really know where this like logic to do this came from, but
we were young. 7 years ago is all
different. We were young. We were having the best time of our life. Like, it was a good time. That was also where the dream of all of you guys living together came up too. That was where the vision was born. Of, hey, I want to live in Jersey. I want to live in Jersey. I need to live in Jersey because of my job. And lo and behold, 3 short months later, we all live together.
Yeah, it was that quick. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think it was like that. And then Cinco de Mayo, we went out to the bar again. And that's when you guys looked at the apartment.
Yeah. And by Memorial Day, we had an apartment.
Literally.
Aw, that was so long.
June 3rd was the move-in day. It's on the calendar.
She really does remember everything.
No, it's on the calendar that I made for Alec.
Oh.
I make it for him every year. So.
Yeah. So.
It's Steve's birthday also.
Some of St. Patrick's Day, I'll get into more about like the going out and drinking culture in a moment. But just also, since you mentioned it, we were together on Wednesday, and we have to share with the podcast that me, you, and Kelly came in second place out of probably like 18 teams at Mean Girls Trivia.
Yeah, it was anywhere from like 13 to 18 teams.
Yeah.
It was pretty crowded, but second place, I was proud of us.
And we only lost by like 4, I think it was. Like, it was pretty
4
close.
Points. I think it was 61 to 58.
Our team name, I trust everything she says because she says it with such confidence. I don't really know.
I was just annoyed because that girl at the table was looking at our table the whole time. I don't think she was really contributing to the team. If she was, then I would care more. But
she was just trying to read our lips.
Yeah, it got to the point where we were making hand signals on the table at each other because we didn't trust this table. And then they beat us by 4 points.
Like, there was a true false section, and like I would be like, oh yeah, like that's the answer. Like, meanwhile, that meant it was false. Like, I was really trying to, like,
ones and twos.
Our team name was the Fertility Vase of the Belly tribe.
And the strategy there was just if the Ndebele tribe was an answer, we knew how to spell it correctly.
Yes, I thought that was a good strategy. Of course, it was not a question.
It was, because you know why? The first time that we went to Mean Girls Trivia, which we did not place at, but we did do well.
Mhm.
And the first time we went, this was when we were living in Union City. I'm 97% sure that was a question, and spelling counted on it, because
Mhm.
everybody was going to know it and nobody was going to know how to spell it.
Yep. Yeah, but we did
I'll
do
never
pretty good.
forget.
I will say there was a couple questions that I was very confident on that we got wrong. Well, one in particular was for all you Mean Girl fans out there. There's one part where like there's like these little kids at the beginning of the movie and they thank God for like the Remington rifle so that the what is it? So that like so men could kill the blank and the blank. Okay. And the line is, and I'm not offending anyone, disclaimer, this is the line in the movie. Okay. The line was to kill the dinosaurs and the homosexuals, right? Like that's the line in the movie. Disclaimer, it's a line in the movie. And but we could not think of dinosaurs. Kelly was convinced it wasn't animals, so I'll give her props. She was the closest out of any of us. I knew instinctually it was something with a D, but I just kept saying the Dutch. So like at the end, we just wrote like the Dutch and the homosexuals, and I'm like, I was just so confident about Dutch, and it was not. It was dinosaurs. So
Right.
I think
Yeah, that was the round that like made us fall behind, I think, was the quote round. Because
Yeah.
even with the she doesn't even go here, girl. When
Yeah.
she's like, I just wish we could build a cake of rainbows and smiles. And we thought, so what do we have first? We had like rainbows and unicorns. And I was like, no, I think it's sunshine. Because I watched the movie last weekend and I had the quote not correct. Like at that point, I was like, oh, that's what she says. And then I couldn't remember it on the spot.
If you're a girl of our age, you know the movie front to back.
Clutch answer, the one very clutch answer that Toni-ann came out with was, what was it? G14, the room that Katie,
what room that they needed to lead them to the back building?
Room? Yeah.
G14.
G14.
Well, Kelly and I watched
that was impressive.
Like, literally the night before, so it was like fresh in my brain. But yeah, I pulled that out of nowhere. So I feel like that made up for the dinosaurs question.
It did. But overall, we did great, and we were pumped.
Yeah. So that was our trivia night, and just a couple more comments about St. Patrick's Day culture. Well, not the actual Irish culture, because I am not Irish at all. I'm actually the only person that went out on St. Patrick's Day out of our group of friends that has no Irish in me. But we had a fantastic time, and I did just take a couple of notes down, just as a third-party observer, but also a first-party observer of just like our drinking culture in this day and age. So let me pull them up, okay? Because I was just thinking about it. Okay. Well, I already talked about the train delays one, so we'll check that off. Okay.
Yes. Go ahead.
Actually, it's really only 1 point I have. Let's do shots. Okay, I wrote this on my note. Now, to all my friends. This is not
the point that I thought you were going to start talking about.
What do you think I was going to start talking about?
The green beer.
Oh, okay, let's start there. We get to Stone Street.
St. Patrick's Day, green beer.
Let's stay on theme.
Let's do
St. Patrick's Day. Well, we get to Stone Street, overwhelmed with the amount of people already, but the first first bar we see that, like, you know, they're all doing the beers outside, like they have outdoor like bar set up. They had, you know, like every good Irish person loves to drink Corona, and I'm like, of course I'm drinking Corona. It's my favorite beer ever. You know, everybody else, whatever. So I get a Corona. The girls get Noons, like whatever. And before I can even take my beer away from the man, he brings out this like little tiny like a dropper, like the little McCormick things. And I thought
Who'd die?
Yeah. Okay. But at first I thought it was mint flavoring. So he was going to put it in my beer, and I was like, whoa, like what are you doing? And he was like, no. And before he could tell me what it was, he just went bloop, bloop, bloop. Whole beer, like way too many drops. It was green, like the greenest green you can ever possibly imagine. For a little bit of a liquid, it was so green that I looked at him like, thank you. And I like turned away, and I tried at first to be positive, like, oh, we're being festive. I took one sip, my whole tongue was green. I was like, this was a $10 Corona Light, Corona Extra, they didn't have light, that you just ruined for me. I was so upset. Like, and you know me, I'm not going to waste a beer regardless. So like, I'm going to drink it. So the whole time, then we went into Stone Street Tavern, and because it still wasn't that crowded at the time. and there was actually like a Jameson promoter girl like there like handing out drinks, and it was actually pretty good. It was Jameson, like a Jameson mule.
Oh.
So it was like Jameson ginger
good.
beer, lime juice. It actually was really good because I thought it was just Jameson gingers, but she's like, no, it's actually like a mule. And I'm like, oh. So I got one for free. So that kind of made me feel better about the wasted Corona. But I was still gonna drink the beer. So then I was like taking a sip of the green beer and then swishing out my mouth with Jameson ginger beer. Okay. So it was a wild start. Don't put food dye into my drink. What if I had an allergy to food dye?
I don't think that exists.
It absolutely does exist. There's a lot of people that are allergic to like red 40 and shit. That's a real thing.
Okay.
So green 10, whatever color that was, I don't know. I could have been allergic to that.
You could have.
Or I'd be like, excuse me, I don't, as I'm sitting there drinking my Corona, I don't like putting those toxins in my body. Can you not? Thank you. I think I only drink natural things, and see, the Corona has a lime in it, so I'm good. So yes, that needed to be brought up, the green beer. I guess I didn't see that note. Let me
You
pull up
wrote the note. You wrote it.
I did. Then, second note I have was the Ubers in the city. Because again, I have to shout out to my friends. I love them to death, but they, again, know I am very anti-Uber. In the city. Obviously, it has its uses, but as an MTA child, I'm very pro public transportation. I also just think that, especially on busy days, it is the quickest way to get places.
And it's also so expensive, though. Like,
we started
Ubers in the city. Like, you're not beating $2.50.
Well, now it's $2.90, but still.
Whatever.
We started off on a bad note. I get it. The whole day, like, we had a bad taste in our mouth from the subway because of that early, like, the minute we got on the subway that morning, it was a 20-minute delay. So, like, that I can understand. The girls were like, we're not bothering with the subway the rest of the time. But I'm like, when we left Stone Street and we were going to Keg Room, we could have just jumped on, like, one of the trains and been up there in, like, 20 minutes. But the girls wanted to Uber. And I'm not going to fight because I'm like, we're all splitting it. Okay, like, whatever. Let's just get in it and go somewhere. But like Ubers in the city just take too long to me. It drives me nuts. I'd rather just be on a train constantly moving than at every single red light. And like the driver was a driver that should not be driving in New York City. He just he was stopping at every yellow. Like it was like he was driving me nuts. He was too cautious of a driver to be in Manhattan. So that was my quick little blurb about Ubers, but I'm still going to end up taking them whenever people want to take them because I'm not going to be that loser that's like, nah, I'm getting on the train. I'll meet you guys later. Like, no, what am I going to say that? Like, no, of course not. So love you guys. But
I feel like that would be an episode of like How I Met Your Mother in today's world.
You saw that episode where they like all raced each other somewhere.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was one episode where they.
Are you sure you're not thinking of the one where Barney's in the marathon and he like takes the subway instead of running the marathon?
One. There's one episode of How I Met Your Mother where they all feel like they have the best way to get somewhere.
Oh, maybe I do remember this. Actually.
And one of them's the train, one of them's the bus, one of them's just like a city bike or something like that, and they all like race to like go somewhere. I think that's the episode that Robin runs into Maury, and it's like her New York moment.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if you remember that either. But
no, I remember it vaguely. But anyway.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anyway, so that was point number 2 about going out and drinking. But point number 3 is let's do shots. I love shots. And since the morning of St. Patrick's Day, where I pretend to be Irish for quite a moment, of course I was like, I need a Jaeger bomb. I don't know what we're doing. I need a Jaeger bomb. That is not Irish. Can I point out? Not Irish. But I was insistent on having them.
Tap me in after this story about Jaeger. Remind me, I have a Jaeger story.
So, Mary wanted a baby Guinness. Very Irish. Okay. Nobody likes Irish car bombs. We're not going to do that. Which, by the way, I learned was like basically canceled. You can't call them Irish car bombs anymore. I guess you probably should have never called them that in the first place. I
never actually did an Irish car bomb. I've never done one. Yeah. I'm not a good chugger. I'm just not good at it. I can't, I need to sip drinks. I'm just not good at chugging. Right. I think I don't know how to do it properly. I store all the liquid in my mouth. My brain can't comprehend. It's empty the glass, but it doesn't swallow the liquid.
So here's my thing about let's do shots. It is 2024. if we do all like different things, why do we all have to come to a consensus about having the same shot? Why can't I have a Jaeger bomb? She could have a baby Guinness. Somebody could do green tea. Why do we all
Do you know
have to
how
do the same
annoying
shot?
that is for the bartender? I would want to bitch slap you across the room.
But it's the same. Okay, then you go, we talked to people when we were there, and naturally, like any young gals, you get guys that want to buy you shots.
Of course.
Fantastic.
Naturally.
We love free shots. But why is there always what's the word I'm looking for? A contingency, like, or a snag. Like, why is it, yes, thank you so much. Like, I'd love a shot. And they're like, tequila? And I'm like, no, I don't do straight tequila shots. And they're like, oh, come on, we're buying. And it's like, if you're buying me a shot to be nice, why are you forcing me to drink something I don't want to drink?
Okay, this is my tiff with, like, anytime you're out and, like, a guy is buying you a drink.
Yeah.
Because I will die on this hill that, again, will retrovert to when I met Alec and he won $400 and I didn't have to pretend to like beer because I had no problem saying I only drank tequila because I knew he won money and I was like, you can afford it. Thank you. But do you know how many migraines I had given myself over the years? And like, even anytime that like we were in college and like somebody was like, oh, you want a drink? And they would come back with a Bud Light. I'm like, this is disgusting. Like, I literally would go to bed like,
right.
You know how me and Bud Light do not mix. I will get an instantaneous migraine. So like I would go to bed with like crippling headaches because I just can't say no. And I think this is the problem with like just being maybe it's being a woman. You're just like, oh, thank you, or being the people pleaser. It's the people pleasing that you can't say, I don't like this, I don't want it.
And then if you try to stand your ground and you're like, I'm sorry, I really can't drink that. They're like, oh, and like they get so offended. I'm like, and it's not
that was also the night, remember my 22nd birthday when we went to Tiki Bar and we made it the whole night and then somebody was like, oh, it's your birthday, I'll buy you a shot. And he was like, Fireball. I was like, I can't do Fireball, I'll throw up. And he was like, no, Fireball. I was like,
right,
oh, fine.
You might as well be drugging me.
I barely made it back to your house before I get like
I'd rather you drug me than make me take a Fireball shot. Not even kidding you.
I think everyone that's ever been drugged would find offense to that.
Okay, fine.
But no, Fireball is terrible.
It's just like, and you said like back when like Alec about like the money, like beer versus tequila. Okay, but if we're all getting shots, every shot is basically worth the same amount of money, dollar give or take. So I'm not causing you financial stress if I want something different than you. Like, yes, I now understand what you're saying about how the bartender would probably want to kill me. But
yes,
at the same time, like so just offer me to get me a drink instead then. Like if you're going to be a chivalrous guy offering to buy shots, eternally grateful for you. You make the world go round. We are so grateful for you. Don't ever change. But maybe just if a girl's saying, I can't do straight tequila, I will literally die. Maybe listen to her. Maybe like don't be like, oh, don't be a wimp. Like maybe just let her have a green tea. Maybe let her do a Jaeger bomb. It's the same price. I don't know. And a Jaeger bomb wouldn't piss the bartender off because you're opening a Red Bull anyway, and you can just pour Jägermeister. That's not that big of a deal. It's not a mixed shot.
I'm not even saying like pissing, but like it does slow down like the flow.
No,
like,
a lot of different mixed shots I can understand is annoying.
Yeah, like making like 6 green tea shots is easier than making like a redheaded slut and a green tea and this and that and whatever.
Haven't had one of those in so long.
My 21st birthday, remember I just asked the bartender if she could make me a redheaded slut as a drink. That was good. That was a moment in my life that I questioned, but delicious.
I stopped ordering them just out of embarrassment for the name.
Jaeger.
We need someone to rename that drink.
Wait, time out. I need to talk about my Jaeger experience.
Back to Jaeger.
Okay, so I drink Jaeger because of Toni-ann's dad and Toni-ann's dad only. At Toni-ann's graduation party, Joe brought out a bottle of Jaeger and was like, who wants to do these shots? And everyone said no. And I said, fine, I'll do it with you. That was my first Jaeger shot. And now I love Jaeger. Anyway, so last weekend was parade day in my town. So my mom walks into my house before we leave and Alex didn't want to do a shot with me. And I was like, Ma, you want to do a Jaeger shot? And she was like, no. I haven't done a Jaeger shot in so long. But here I am solo doing Jaeger shot in my kitchen. So I pour myself the shot and I go and I drink it. And I think it just hit my tongue the wrong, like it hit my tongue and I made eye contact with my mom that I was doing the shot alone. So I literally spit half of the shot across my kitchen because I like was mid laugh at the fact that she was like, "You're seriously doing this alone?"
Was it at least like cold? Like it's supposed to be like out of the freezer?
It was out
Yeah.
of the freezer, but it like hit my tongue.
A
and
shot
I was
should
like,
not pass your tongue. You should be putting it straight back.
no, I know. That's why I think I was like
Oh.
shocked that like I like sipped it on accident. Like I don't know what I was
God.
doing. I was just being an amateur old lady and I was like, what am I doing right now? And then my mom made eye contact with me like,
That's
you're really doing shots in the kitchen by yourself? Like, are you for
Oh.
real? Because I think she thought if I said no, she wasn't gonna do it. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna do it because she said no, I'm doing it. Well, half of that wound up on the counter. And then I said, okay. That was that. But anyway, so that was my Jaeger story because I really don't have much to contribute to this. My St. Patrick's Day was good. We actually all spent it together, which was nice.
Good.
And then I think I drank like 4 or 5 Guinnesses yesterday, and that is the
Wow.
most beer I've drank.
I'm surprised you like them.
I love Guinness. That's the only beer I really like. Guinness or Kona, which are two polar opposites.
Yeah, Guinness isn't like a beer, so I can
No, I
okay,
love
maybe
Guinness because it's like
pretend
smooth.
it's an espresso martini.
Right, it's like smooth. Ooh, that one, you might be on something.
I saw a TikTok about that like the girls were like, for those who don't like Guinness, and you just pour an espresso martini like into a Guinness glass, and you're just like,
oh, I thought you meant mix this espresso martini with the Guinness because I feel
I
like
didn't
that
think that, but that
could be.
You know, they have coffee porters. That's like basically the same thing.
No, I know, but either way, anyway. So Guinness is my number 1 beer. So
wow, 5
I drank a
Guinnesses,
bunch
that's
of those.
heavy.
Yeah, but I wasn't feeling. I don't know why I didn't feel full, so I just kept
Wow.
drinking them and drinking them. I wasn't mad about it. I think they're delicious.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So, that was my St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I think we all had good days, and I was just thinking, like, eventually I'm gonna get old enough where like I'm over it, and I know that, and I'm definitely over like the whole Stone Street thing, which that was a one and done. I didn't do it any other years, but like the Midtown vibe, like I love it. And next year it's a Monday, but I kind of think it's even more fun when it's a weekday because like then everybody goes from work. And it's just like more like city-ish. Like it feels more city-ish than like an event. I don't know how to explain.
Right.
I don't
When
know
it's
if I'm
on the
explaining
weekend,
it right.
like no, when it's on the weekend, everyone's like, "Oh, let's go to the city."
Yeah.
But like when it's during the week, it's like the local people are enjoying it.
Right. It feels like older almost, like because like people are coming from work, they're in their work outfits still, and they're just trying to enjoy the day. Whereas like Saturday was like an event where like people, like all the college kids were coming in, and like you know, it was just like a lot more. So
yeah,
we'll
that makes
see.
sense. That makes sense.
Who knows what will be on the next St. Patrick's Day? A year is a long time from now, but I do like.
I love how this turned into like a St. Patrick's Day recap.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of things.
I feel like I didn't really like, honestly, not that much happened this week.
Well, speaking of the United
Pop
Kingdom.
Culturally, like what else?
Speaking of the United Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
we have more of an update that's not an update about Princess Kate for everybody that's been following along. She has been seen again at a farmer's market in Windsor with William. They were out like shopping yesterday. So the public has seen her. There hasn't been any photos, but the public has seen her.
I saw a video from TMZ actually on the Twitter. She was carrying a large bag of groceries, which some are saying if you had a crippling surgery that maybe you wouldn't be carrying those bags, but we'll buy it. It doesn't really look like her, but she also might not be having the makeup that she usually has on. Maybe she is tired. So we'll give them the benefit of the doubt on this. But what is with the half-mast flags? Did we find out what that's about yet?
I think that was a Twitter rumor. I don't think that was actually ever confirmed to be real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I didn't see any pictures of it, or if they were.
I saw a picture, but it could be like fabricated, obviously.
Or it could be like from a long time ago, like when there was a half-mast flag. Like it didn't necessarily.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I didn't see any news, and then and then the other night it was trending that King Charles actually died on St. Patrick's Day, and that's what this big BBC announcement's about, and all that. But again, I feel no real news sources came out and said anything.
Nothing has come out yet. So
yeah. So BBC is supposed to be having some announcement within the next 72 hours. But again, like, who started that? Like, BBC didn't say that. So who said that that's going to happen? I don't know. I think the
Well,
internet's
that's where I
getting a
thought the
little.
flags came into play because that's why they were making announcements.
Yeah.
Either way, if anything major happens before this drops on Friday, Toni-ann would have made a public service announcement on
Of
our
course,
social.
I will have an emergency press conference. Also, there's.
Did we
you know,
watch the
other-
Love is Blind reunion? Can we
Yeah,
talk
but-
about that?
Yeah, we could. I had one more comment to make about Kate.
Oh, sorry, go.
The other rumor was that Prince William has a secret love child.
Oh yeah, I heard that too.
So,
But like, I feel like a lot of these theories like are so all over the place. I'm like, I think you guys are just wanting to go viral.
I do think that the internet's getting a little carried away, which is the fact that they're being private for once and they don't know what to do about that.
Right.
So I think as much as I love a deep conspiracy, I think we all need to rein it in a little bit. And not we, because I didn't start any rumors, but I'm saying we as in the internet, I think we all need to rein it in a little bit and just let it happen. And that's it. We can move on.
The internet also said that her mom never visited her, which I thought was weird.
I don't believe that either. The internet needs to rein it in.
Yeah, they do. But anyway, let's talk about Love is Blind to round this off. If you have not watched all of Love is Blind, there will be spoilers. You have been given extra notice. This is a week later,
right.
And then some, so you had time. That's all we'll say about that.
Exactly.
Anyway, what was with everyone's hair? Why did they all look ridiculous?
The hair and makeup is out of control in these shows.
Colleen looked, I didn't even know that was Colleen. One, Sarah Ann and her body glitter. She literally looked like Jennifer Gardner in 13 Going on 30, which came out 30 years ago. So goodbye. Or 20 years ago, whatever it was. Anyway, I'm not good at math right now because I'm passionate. But I did enjoy like all the past people like on the panel, like having real life.
That's kind of cool.
And I like that they had like real live like reactions to things and like they were like giving their bit or whatever. My favorite Love is Blind couple is probably Brennan and Alexis. They're my favorite. I'm obsessed with them. I think they are the best couple to come out of the show.
Yeah.
And that's all I say about that.
My other favorite couple was the couple from season 1, but they weren't at the reunion.
Yeah, I think they've like the season 1 people have just really distanced themselves, which is fine. I do like Lauren and Cameron a lot too. But
yes. I'm still convinced that Colleen is in an abusive relationship. I still don't trust that man.
Well, they live together, and he actually said nice things about her. And I feel like after all this time, she has the side of the people on her side. Yeah. So like I feel like if she really was in one, like she has a lot of people that would believe her.
I guess.
Like the entire nation would be on her side if she came out and was like, I don't feel safe in this relationship. They'd all be like, we knew it. So what is she, hiding at this point?
Maybe I'll give the guy a break then. He always like rubbed me the wrong way. But
no, I just think maybe he like wasn't good at television. Maybe he's awkward on camera and it comes off in the wrong way, I
had a panic attack thinking that Micah and Izzy were together for a second.
Wait, I
put them together.
I never watched season 5, so I didn't know who the Izzy guy was. But
it was just to promote Perfect Match that they're going to be on, which the product placement, enough. Like, I'll watch it if I want to watch it. Leave me alone. I'm not going to watch it now just because you're trying to bullshit us.
What did you think of Trevor on the couch?
My jaw dropped. Like, my jaw dropped. I didn't read. Some people knew going into the reunion about stuff because they like follow on social media. I don't go to their Instagrams. Like, I don't follow social media.
I had only seen those texts because they came up on something. Yeah. And I saw only a few of them. I didn't see all of them. But like his reaction to it was not good.
He was literally speechless, as was I. They said that, and the way Nick Lachey was like reading them, I was like,
I love that they were doing the his and her parts.
Yeah. And the fact that he was, and they were like, well, you had the side of the people, but then this came out. And I'm like, I thought he still had the side of the people. And then they say all this, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy I wasn't spoiled because I loved it.
I like Vanessa Lachey gets a lot of shit, but
she's much better this year.
I think when she doesn't agree with something that somebody on the cast does, she lets them know. And I like that because she's very straightforward. She was too straightforward last year when she was like, babies.
No, she heard the flack for that and she stopped. Yeah.
Right. But at the same time, like, she was like, so what was the deal here? Because, and I did feel bad for Chelsea too, because Chelsea was 5 minutes away from picking him. Like, what the hell?
Right. You could tell between all their dynamics that there were conversations. They obviously, I mean, it's reality TV. There's conversations that they had and they got over way before the reunion happened.
Right.
I do see now that Chelsea and Jimmy are still together.
Well, they said that they weren't. Well, they made it out unscathed too. They didn't really get a lot of questions at the reunion.
No.
They got one hard question and that was it.
No, they really went in on Jeremy, so I feel like a lot of people got spared.
Right. And the thing with Jimmy is I feel like people gave him shit the entire season. And I do think that Jimmy came off as like a total fuckboy. When you look at him, you're like, this guy is bad news. But I really didn't think that he was that terrible of a person.
No,
he straight
wasn't.
up told her every single thing that he was feeling. She was the one that was like really having like the psychotic breaks. And in hindsight, she said like, and nobody will ever know what it's like to be on reality TV. So when these people are like having trust issues and things like that, especially on a dating show, like past trauma is going to show itself. But I really thought that Jimmy got a lot of shit the whole season for things that like he didn't do.
And I do think I loved to hate on Chelsea all throughout the season. Thought she was whiny, thought this, thought that, but she made good points at the reunion that like you see the worst, like it is reality, like you see the worst sides of her because it makes good TV. But she watched it herself saying like, wow, like I was really bad. And like, you didn't understand though, like this is what happened behind the scenes. And there were obviously added things to that fight that you don't see or you don't hear about. And so it's so black and white. So I'm glad everybody gets their piece in the reunion. I thought it was a very well done reunion. Like
I thought so
I've watched really shitty reunions over the years.
That was a good one.
And
I love and Amy and Johnny are just they're so freaking
they're
cute.
so cute.
He's
I'm
from
glad
Somerville,
somebody asked that.
by the
Have you
way.
ever heard of condoms? I'm glad somebody asked him that question because
That
I was
was
dying
hilarious.
to know.
But even his answer, he was like, well, I've really never thought about these things. I'm like, you're 30 years old. What do you mean you never thought about it? Did you go to school? Did you go to school?
He just assumed every woman was on birth control.
Which is, if his sisters, I hope they beat the shit out of him when they saw
his
this.
sisters are so cool.
You're
too.
an idiot. Yeah.
But
they're all from Somerville, in case you're wondering.
Oh.
The
See, like the way he was talking, I would have thought he was like a Florida boy or something. But
no, he's from Jersey.
So he should have got basic sex ed being in Jersey. He should know better.
Exactly.
Oof. I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, it was a very enjoyable season.
It was.
I'm excited. I want to see the year after the altar. I love those episodes, which
I love
those should be being filmed maybe like in the next couple of months, right? Usually the summer. And they churn out the seasons, man. Like the next season's probably going to come for the summer.
Yeah, probably. And then what's her face is on what's the blonde girl's name with Kwame?
Oh, Chelsea. Her name's Chelsea too.
Oh. She's on like the casting now.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Did you see the memes where they're like, did Chelsea pick this cast? Because obviously she didn't do a good job.
No, I don't know if she picked this cast. I didn't see the memes, but Kwame still sketches.
They're going to DC next.
Apparently. Oh, are they?
I think so. I think that's where the next one is.
I always laugh. I see the jokes that's like, if you did a Love is Blind, like I saw a TikTok that was like, imagine Love is Blind Long Island or something like that. And then somebody in the comments was like, what about Love is Blind Staten Island? And they'd be like, they wouldn't be able to get people, like it wouldn't be a realistic experiment because everyone would know each other. It'd just be like, Joe, is that you? Michael, is that you? Like it would be like too obvious. Like, Dom, is that you?
What elementary school did you go to? I went to PS 78.
Like just from like the voices alone, be like, "What are you doing on this show?" I thought you were in the police academy. How'd you get off to be on this show? Like it'd be like the dumbest shit ever. It's way too small of a world, but I love the jokes about it. So that was that. Do we have anything else on our list?
I don't think so. It was really like a light week. I feel like not a lot of things happened this week, honestly.
Well, we still managed to talk for almost an hour, so.
I know, go us. But
what do we have coming up? I don't have any vacays planned or anything like that.
I don't either. Well, at the end, I do at the end of April. I'm like, when am I going?
That's still many, many episodes away.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was episode 22. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. I hope everybody enjoyed the Eras tour that debuted this week.
Yeah.
Not to go into a lot of detail for our haters.
We watched it over here.
But Kelly was the unfortunate I mean, she likes Tay, so I'm not saying that she was tortured, but I also forgot the fact that it was like 3.5 hours long, and I did end up almost holding her hostage watching it until like almost 2 a.m. But
yeah, we paused. We stopped halfway through, and then
we said we were going to do an intermission, and then we just didn't stop. So.
Yeah. We watched like an hour and 40 minutes of it the first night, to Alex's demise, and then I really lost him during Folklore and Evermore because he's not in it for the lyrics. He's not in it for the lyrics. So once it stopped being fun, there was like downhill.
I know.
Anyway, and then we made it through most of 1989, and then we paused it at Shake It Off, and then resumed in the morning with the baby. So
that's a great subject. I love the little Swiftie. I love it. She should be watching that many times over now, in her life.
I know. It's not the same though. It's going.
Any person that's just not even a fan, I would say I'm not going to force you to watch it. I'm not going to force you to
talk about it. Just put it on in the background to listen to it.
But like put a little bit on, put on a couple of songs just to admire like her work ethic and how she went that strong for 3.5 hours straight. That's all. I just want you to appreciate the craft. You don't have to like her music. You don't have to like her. Just appreciate the craft, and then you can shut it off.
Also, like the fact that they take that stage and they build it in every single, like, I worked in arenas, so like the stages are not that intricate. I feel like they are, some of them are, but like that stage is massive.
Yeah.
And the amount of props and like the hydraulics, I guess you want to call it. I don't really know. But
when she like dives in. Yeah.
Yeah, like all of it is insane. The LEDs.
Her outfit changes that are like that.
Yeah, impressive. It's so impressive. Anyway,
we are,
you're done. We can go on all night. So we hope you have a great weekend because it will be Friday. Happy Friday. And
let us know how you feel about Jess's headset.
And
if you like it, then I'll get one. If you don't like it, I'm not.
Also, let us know if you think our sound sucks or got better.
Yeah.
And if you have anything that you want us to talk about next week, also let us know that.
Yeah, we'll be keeping you apprised of all the local news. There was one more thing that I'll save for next week that I just thought of.
Write it down before you forget.
Yeah.
All right, with that, bye-bye, friends.
Bye, friends.
Hi, friends. Wow, you listened to the whole thing. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform and share it with your friends. Ratings, reviews, and comments help as well. See you next week. Thanks for being our friend.